Alright guys, so Trolls World Tour, it's out today on VOD, and I'm kind of excited, but I'm not excited because, well, I'm not really that excited for the movie itself, if I'm being honest with you guys. The movie really doesn't look all that good. I mean, the animation looks great and everything, but I'm not that excited for the movie. I don't think that a Troll sequel is necessary, but the reason why I'm excited is because it's a new 2020 movie, and it's been like a month since I watched a new theatrical movie, almost a month actually. So it's kind of exciting. I've been dying to watch a new 2020 movie for some reason. I'm sick of rewatching movies or catching up on movies from previous years. I just want to watch something new. So it kind of feels nice, I guess. But yeah, I'm not really looking forward to this movie, but I've been hearing that the movie is better than the first movie, and I did just rewatch the first Trolls movie for the first time since theaters, and I liked it the first time around, but I think it's maybe because I've grown and I matured ever since, and maybe I was the targeted audience for that movie back when I first saw it, but I didn't really enjoy it all that much on a rewatch. Again, it's maybe because I've grown out of it, but yeah, it's an okay movie. It's harmless, but let's go check out Trolls World Tour. I'm gonna go get some snacks downstairs, and then we're going straight to the movie room. We're gonna watch Trolls World Tour, so let's go ahead. So I do want to keep this as close as to a movie day as I can. So I guess might as well just show you guys and talk to you guys right now. You know what I'm snacking on. Right now I'm gonna get some popcorn, but I don't know which bin I want to use. I do have this Star Wars Rise of Skywalker bin. It's really nice. I really like this one, despite the movie. And I do have the Endgame one. I think I'll go with the Endgame one for now. But right now I'm trying to see what I could snack on. I mean, I do have red vines, but I'm not really feeling candy. I think I'm just gonna get popcorn and I'm gonna get a drink. So let's go ahead and let's do that real quick. Alright guys, so I got some popcorn, and then I also got some Minute Maid lemonade. You know, I'm not a huge soda person, especially at midnight. It's midnight right now, by the way. I'm more of a water and lemonade person, so that's just me though. But let's go upstairs and let's watch this. So here we got the movie room, and here we got Vudu open. We got Trolls World Tour right here, by the ways. Huge shout out to my friend Ben, who told me, hey Marlon, I rented Trolls World Tour. If you want to watch the movie, go ahead. And thank you so much. I was about to rent the movie myself, but he did offer me his account to watch the movie on. So thank you so much for saving me the $20 on the rental of this movie. I really appreciate it, Ben. Huge shout out to you, man. So here is Trolls World Tour. So yeah, I mean, let's get started. So when I'm watching a movie with my LED lights, I like to choose a color that sets the tone of the specific movie that I'm watching. So for Trolls World Tour, I think I'm feeling like a little, I don't know, party mode as far as the setting goes. So that's perfect. Let's get started. I just gotta point this out. It seems like DreamWorks actually got a new logo, which is pretty cool. I think this is really nice. Hopefully I don't get copyrighted for this, but I really do like this new DreamWorks logo. Alright guys, so I just got done watching Trolls World Tour. The end credits are rolling right now. And let me just tell you, what if I told you guys and said that this movie isn't that bad after all? I don't know, I just had a fun time watching this movie. I really did. Anyways, let's review this movie. Alright guys, so Trolls World Tour, like I told you guys, I enjoyed the movie. Of course, there are flaws that I had with the movie, some major problems I had with the movie actually, but I did enjoy myself. But let's start off and let's talk with the positives of this movie. First off, we gotta talk about the animation. The animation here is phenomenal, and they play with many different various styles that makes this a truly unique eye candy movie to look at. And I think that what DreamWorks did here was really phenomenal, whereas Pixar likes to play with more natural and realistic looking animation. I think that DreamWorks really likes to try like different and goofier animation. Like for example, Captain Underpants, they really made that look a lot like the books. They really, they did such a phenomenal job with the Kung Fu Panda movies and the How to Train Your Dragon movies. But here, I think that it's taken to a level of extent to where the animation is just pretty much flawless, I'd say. I think that, this movie does have many different music tribes, and every single of those tribes has like different detail or different color that they are used for that specific tribe. For example, they got like, as the tribes go, they got pop, they got country, reggaeton, they got K-pop trolls in this movie. And each and every one of those different tribes really like play with the color that the animators think really belongs with that sort of music. And the animation here just works really well. I was impressed, and my jaw was on the floor by how phenomenal the animation here really is. And I'd say that this ranks up there with Spider-Verse and Toy Story 4 as some of the best animation in a modern mainstream animated movie. And yes, I truly do mean that. The animation was phenomenal in this movie. And now let's get talking about a little bit more about the story of this movie. As far as the story goes, I thought the story was more straightforward than it was in the first movie, because I think that the first movie mainly felt like a big giant music video with all these trolls covering all this music. And because of that, it felt like the movie was mainly focusing on covers of other songs that it really made the story feel very paper thin. And it just kind of, I think that's the reason why that movie didn't work, because they were focusing a little bit too much on the covers and on the music, and they were focusing too much on the soundtrack than the actual story itself. But here, the story is actually structured, and it's actually layered, and the story's actually going somewhere, and it actually has stakes. And that's what I love about movies, when they're done right, of course. The fact that the movie takes you on an adventure with stakes, therefore the movie doesn't feel meaningless. And I really like that about the movie. And something that I just loved and adored about this movie was the world building. I thought the world building here was actually quite phenomenal. Of course, we do have different tribes of music trolls, and we go into many different environments, such as the country environment. We go into the pop environment. Of course, our main characters are from the pop environment. Rock and roll, the techno. Oh my God, I gotta talk about the techno trolls. That's how the movie starts off, and the movie just hooks you on into this environment, and it just stays like that pretty much. Like the movie just has all these different environments that are just brilliant to look at. And I thought that the world building here it's really good. It really is. It really impressed me. And also the voice acting is something that was also really good this movie. Of course, Anna Kendrick does a really good job as Poppy. She keeps that that optimism that her character has, or the optimism that Anna Kendrick usually has for her characters. Justin Timberlake was pretty good. I thought that standout here was honestly Sam Rockwell. I really enjoyed his character quite a lot in this movie. As well for Rachel Bloom, who plays the villain in this movie. She did a really good job. Now let's get to some of the flaws that I had with this movie. So, our one of our more important things in a movie, of course, is is going to be our characters. I thought Poppy, they did this thing with her character where she was just one of those characters from horror movies where they just do dumbest decisions, basically for no reason, and they really made her character look really naive and really gullible. And I know it's a part of her character, and they tried to do it for the fact of giving her a character arc in this movie. But honestly, it just made her character feel so incompetent, and it really made her character look like a bad leader overall. And I overall didn't really like that image on her character all that much. Like, she wasn't that good of a main character, if I'm being honest with you guys. I mean, I do like the character, but as a leader and as as someone that other trolls are supposed to look up to, it just didn't really make sense all that much. Like, she wasn't really, she wasn't really that good of a leader, and it really was a problem for the movie, I'd say. And another thing is Branch. I did enjoy this movie, or I did enjoy this character in the first movie, but I think that his character kind of tries to go somewhere, but it really doesn't. Like, they really try to like develop this subplot of him having a crush on Poppy, and it kind of unfortunately really never unfolds or goes anywhere. Um, and it's just kind of disappointing because that relationship and that bond that was earned at the end of the first movie, it just kind of goes nowhere. And it's really disappointing, if I'm being honest with you guys, because I like both these characters, and that relationship that they had in the first movie was one of the best things that they had in that first movie. And unfortunately, I feel like it went nowhere here. Although I will say they did give one of the characters, Cooper, he's that troll that looks like a horse, they gave him this character arc, which at first I was like, oh, it's gonna go nowhere, it's gonna be pointless. But it was, at the end of the day, that subplot was meaningful, and it was really cute, and it was really heartwarming. Um, it was honestly really, it was a surprise. It really was. And so yeah, and then another problem that I had with the movie was the villain of the movie. I thought that the villain in the movie is just one of those villains that just does a villainous evil thing just for the sake of being a villain. Like, there was barely any backstory to her character. Her character kind of felt flat and, you know, two-dimensional for a villain. I will say a bit of an improvement over the villain of the first movie, because at least this villain was more of a threat, I'd say. Well, actually, in the first movie, they did try to eat the trolls, so I don't know. But the villain here could have been much better. The villain just felt really flat, and it was disappointing. It was pretty disappointing for a villain in this movie. But I did like the character, although overall as a villain, I don't really know if I liked her all that much. But let me just end this review with a really high note that the message in this movie is beautiful. It's you know, the message of listening to others' opinions to improve on your leadership, or you know, just overall just listening to other people. I thought that that message was honestly really nice, and something that we kind of really need at this time and moment. And the message comes out and it's portrayed really well, and also the message of diversity, which is another message that is really important, and it's one that I am really glad that DreamWorks touched on in this movie. Of course, every single one of these music tribes represents diversity, and I really appreciate that, and I loved it, honestly. So I really love the fact that they did that. And honestly, that third act is phenomenal in this movie. I really thought that that third act was really well earned. And what they did in the third act and what they managed to pull off honestly really earns this movie the privilege to call itself kind of a classic DreamWorks movie, because what they pulled off in that third act really does really pull the trigger of a classic DreamWorks movie, and I really like that. But overall, the movie was really fun. It was enjoyable. Again, it's predictable, but the message is loud and clear, and it's portrayed in such a great way. And the animation is just flawless, honestly. I was really impressed with this movie. So overall, for my rating, I'm gonna give Trolls World Tour, I'm gonna give it a solid B. It's really solid movie. It really is. I was really surprised with this movie. So anyways, definitely watch this movie. If you guys have free time, watch it with your family. You guys are gonna have a fun time. I had a fun time with this movie, much better than the first movie as well. So if you guys seen this movie, tell me what you guys thought about it in the comment section down below. As always, thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys later.